Hi, and welcome to this video on arithmetic sequences and series. Okay, so the IGCSE is great because it does quite a lot of this, so there's not too much to learn. Now, you've got to understand first of all what an arithmetic sequence is, and what we mean by arithmetic or arithmetic is it's like an addition sequence. So the first letter we're going to start with is like A. And then what we're going to do is add a difference. So the second term would be A plus D. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep adding a constant difference. When I say add, I could subtract, but I'm adding or subtracting a constant difference each time. So the next one would be A plus 2D. And I should really be putting commas in between. Another difference, A plus 3D. And we'll keep going. Now if we think about it, what would the last one be? Well, this is the first term, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, and you can see they've all got an A, so let's put it in here. And the amount of differences is always one less than the term. So if this is the last one, let's call it N, we're going to do one less, and in here it'd be another one less difference. And that is the general form of an arithmetic sequence. So the nth term, now you would have been used to finding nth terms of arithmetic sequences. For example, here's one, constant difference of 2, and you would have just said that is 2n plus 1. Now what you can also use is this formula just up here. That is the nth term to find a term. So check this out, watch. So a is 3 plus n minus 1, so n minus 1 times the common difference, which is 2, and you get 3 plus 2n minus 2, which is 2n plus 1. And you might be thinking, whoa, that was so much harder than just looking at the times table and finding out what that term would be. But it's very helpful when there's some more difficult problems. Now instead of writing nth term, we quite often write it like this. So n, u, n, something like that. Okay, so you won't see me write this anymore. It's always going to be this. And you do need to know this formula off by heart and the general form of an arithmetic sequence off by heart. So here's a question, for example, that the old method now goes out the window. So we have this. We have the nth term is a constant amount of n plus another constant, which we don't know what either are. It tells us a and b are constants to be found. But what we do know is u3 is 5. Now, this notation means the third term. So it's not the first, but it's got 2 more differences added on. So a plus 2d is equal to 5. Now, the 8th term would be a plus 7d, and we know that's equal to 20. And when you write it like this, it should be very obvious now what this is. It's a simultaneous equation, and we can subtract them from each other. So let's do that. Let's do 7d take away 2d is 5d. Obviously the a take away the a is no a's, and I end up with 15. So d would be 3. And we can pop this into our equations. We should do it in both, but I'm not going to. So we've got a, I'll say that, let's do it. A plus 2d's, well, so a plus 6 is 5, then a must be minus 1. Let's just check that in the next one. So minus 1 plus 21, it works. So we've definitely got these right. So the important thing is now is I've got A's and D's, but we need these two values here. So we must write out the sequence. So it's going to start on minus 1, and the difference here is 3. So it's 2, 5, 7, be helpful if I could add, 11, and that goes on. So what is the nth term? You can see it's going up in 3's, so it's 3n, and just using your previous GCSE knowledge, you'll know that is minus 4. you could have put it into the nth term, which I'll write again, a plus n minus 1d. So we've got minus 1 plus n minus 1 lots of d, which is minus 1 plus 3n minus 3, which is 3n minus 4. So you can still use your old GCSE way, but you'll see it's very helpful in times. So that's the type of question. Wow, this one's definitely harder. So what can you tell me about this arithmetic sequence? Wow, that's me asking that question. We'll talk about what they might ask you in a minute. But we've got the first three terms. Actually, it doesn't really matter if it's the first three or not. We've just got three consecutive terms, and I know that because there's no like dots in between. So the fact that it is arithmetic, it means there's a constant difference there. And let's have a look at a nice simple one. If I did 5 take away 3, I get that common difference, and if I do 7 take away 5, I get that common difference, which we can see is 2. So what that means is if I do h squared minus 4, that will work out the common difference. Well, if I do 9h minus h squared, that will also be the common difference, and therefore these are equal. Which means I have h squared plus 4 equals 9h minus h squared. Okay, so now I've got a quadratic equation, so everything on one side. This is negative here, so let's definitely move that first. So no, 2h squared minus 9h plus 4 all equal to 0. I can factorise this. This is a prime number, so let's just go straight for it. We don't need the HAC method for that. Factors of 4, and bearing in mind I've got to make a 9, so I could have 1 and 4, 4 and 1, or 2 and 2. It's definitely got to be this one, just looking at the numbers. And there we go. So this would work when h is equal to a half and when h is equal to 4. So what that means, or what they could ask you is, calculate the value of h. That could have been or possible values of h. So, well, what are these? So there's two different sequences basically. If we started off with minus 4, and let's use h to be a half, we'd have a quarter, and then we'd have 4.5. So I'm going to put it like that. So you can see each time the difference is 4.25, but that won't be the same when h is 4. We're going to start off with minus 4. So when h is 4, h squared is 16, and 9 fours are 36. You can see the difference now is 20. So this gave us two different arithmetic sequences, and that's what they could be asking you for. Okay, so now it's time to have a look in your book. The first exercise is what you need to go and practice, but I'll set it for you on Firefly. Okay guys, best of luck.